Rock 100.5, the KATT, KATT. Jay Ramone live at Rocklahoma 2018. Your Rocklahoma coverage brought to you by Rockin' Brews Restaurant. Eat, drink, and rock on. Umbrella Vapor and the Oklahoma RV Center and more, home of the no dock fees. We're sitting here in the KATT booth at Rocklahoma with Shannon from Godsmack.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm great. It's great to be back.
Well, we appreciate you coming by. We didn't know if you guys were going to make it here in time or not.
Yeah, you know, last night Tony and I flew in from Florida and had a 2.5-hour layover in Dallas, delays and all that. But we made it here. Got in at like 1:30 in the morning last night to the hotel. And here we are, man. We played here a couple years ago. We loved it.
Rocklahoma is one of the coolest events because the fans are so rabid. They freak out about Rocklahoma. There's people who come 5-6 days before the event actually happens. When they actually open the grounds to bring their RVs in, these people are lined up and waiting.
I tell you, I think the whole city of Tulsa is here because yesterday was a Saturday and a couple of my guys went out and said, yeah, it was like a ghost town.
Oh, yeah. The town empties to come to Rocklahoma.
Yes.
So they probably got great service then.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the new record. You guys just released a brand new record, Bulletproof. Awesome. We're playing the crap out of it here at the KATT.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about that process. You know, it's been a couple of years, and what's it like getting back into the groove and making a record that sounds a lot different than Godsmack stuff in the past?
Yeah, typically, you know, we take 4 years in between records anyway. You know, since I've joined the band 16 years ago, Faceless, then 4 years later was 4, and so on and so forth. So, you know, the thing we're most proud about in this band is a 20-year mark. You know what I mean? It's hard enough just to get signed in this business, let alone have a successful career for however many years. So 20 years is our proud mark, and I attribute that to typically we'll make a record and then we'll tour it for 1.5 to 2 years, and then we'll take a year off apart from each other, you know? And so that's why we're still together, and that's why we're still friends.
When you live in a box on the road with that many people in close quarters, you have to have your own time and your own space. So I think it probably keeps you guys reinvigorated and still friends, probably.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes us excited for every new record that we make. You know, after we take a year apart, we do Sully does solo albums, Tony and I do the Apocalypse Blues review, and we come back together and then we realize, you know, we're so grateful, how grateful we are for this band, Godsmack, you know, to have been together this long. And so, you know, the new record, every record, Sully is our fearless leader. We trust him, we follow him, and he always has a vision of what our new record should sound like, you know. Like on the 4 record, the Faceless record was a very militant metal record with David Bottrell producing. Then we did the 4 record 4 years later with Andy Johns from Zeppelin Stones fame.
Yeah.
Wanted to make a bluesier record that, you know, and then on to this one. Sully came to us and wanted to make a more melodic record that kind of sounded more modern. So we got this producer, Eric Ron, to co-produce with Sully and, you know, implemented a lot of sounds that we've never used with synthesizers and processed guitars. And, you know, these things we've never done. We've always been so adamantly old school, you know, with our sound. So I don't think that the songs themselves sound that much different for us. Besides maybe Under Your Scars, which is the first like ballad we've ever done, you know, on a record.
How was that process, coming to the table in the rehearsal space and you're like, hey, I've got a ballad? You know, every band puts out a ballad, but you guys haven't. We
never did, yeah. And, you know, and that was the one we spent actually the most time on the new record, because there's just such a thin line between being cheesy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And making this rock ballad. Everybody's going to go, oh, geez, here they go. So, you know, we spent a lot of time on it. There was 20 different arrangements of that song until we felt we got it into a place that we were comfortable with, you know.
When you guys were choosing the covers when you put out that EP, what was that process like, narrowing down which songs you were going to do? That
was fun. You know, we all basically contributed a list. We had like, all right, everybody pick 5 songs that you'd love to cover, you know, and you're a Ramone, right?
Oh, I'm a diehard Ramones fan.
Yeah, so all 5 of my songs were Ramone songs, and none of them made it.
Which ones were they?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I knew that, you know, we all submitted songs. I did submit Psychotherapy as a Ramone song. And
Very nice.
It didn't make it, but so I ended up getting which I think Come Together might have been my pick, but which ended up.
That one sold me. And that one's one that That's a tough one to cover. You got big shoes to fill because there's two really amazing versions that have been out for a long time,
Yes,
and you
the
guys nailed
Aerosmith
it.
one, you know, and that was a big influence on us, the way they redid it. And they're, you know, obviously Boston band. We looked up
Right.
to them immensely. And so we took a little bit of Beatles, a little bit of Aerosmith on that cover. But that was so cool, man. You know, tonight we're going to bust a cover out, by the way. I'm not going to say which one.
Awesome. I'm looking
but
forward
we
to
are
it.
going to bust one out that we haven't recorded.
Speaking of Boston, you guys have your own day in Boston, in the city
Yeah.
of Boston. Like, how freaked out were you when they told you that?
It was pretty cool, man. We went downtown and went to Newberry Records down in Boston, and the mayor came, and you know, and he was a totally cool dude, and knew our songs. Like, you could tell he wasn't just going through the motions. He knew
Right.
Godsmack, and so yeah, that was a huge honor, you know.
That's really
Who'd
awesome,
have
man.
thought, you know, some rock band getting a key to the city.
And
man.
it's not like it's a small town or something. It's freaking Boston. Like,
I know. Well, how about this though? I saw Stormy Daniels got the key to the city of Hollywood, and I'm like, shit, man, that's. Oh,
no, we're recorded. It's
sorry.
good.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
I was like, shoot, man, you know. So it's not so ridiculous. They gave us the key to Boston, you know. They gave a porn star the key to Hollywood.
You know, as long as it wasn't Washington, D.C., I think we may be okay,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Well, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, because people aren't going to be able to see this until after Rocklahoma is over. But Godsmack is coming to Oklahoma City at the Zoo Amphitheater this summer for KATTFEST.
Yes.
Godsmack headlining KATTFEST August 10th with Shinedown.
Yes. That's going to be the tour of the year, man. You know, it's such a cool thing. We took them out on their very first record, and no one knew who they were. And, you know, we loved them and took them out on tour with us. And now all these years later to see them as a bona fide, we watched their meteoric rise to co-headliner. And so we're so proud and happy to tour with them. Not only are they a great band, but they're great dudes.
They're the nicest dudes ever.
So nice. And they're genuine, man. We love them.
And the fact you guys both got new records at the same time, it was just like the
Yes.
perfect storm coming together.
Yeah, and a cool thing, too, we're sharing production with them so that, you know, whatever the fans pay for that concert, they're going to get 2 headlining shows. You know what I mean?
That is the greatest thing I've heard today, my friend.
Yes.
That's going to be really awesome. Have you ever played? You've played the Zoo Amphitheater before in Oklahoma
Yes.
City many times.
Love it.
Dude, that venue is so historic to me, and I've been to so many shows and seen so many great bands. I think it's really awesome you guys are coming back with Shinedown for KATTFEST. That's going to be
Thank
amazing.
you. So do I. I think it's awesome. I'm excited, man. Every time, you know, we put out a new record, it's so exciting for us. I mean, we love playing I Stand Alone and Voodoos and all the songs we've been playing for 20 years. But when you put a new record out, you know, you get to play this new stuff. And, you know, you have to be very careful because you don't want to, you know, like I know when I went to see AC/DC on the Black Ice tour, and I hadn't seen them in a long time, and I drank these big giant beers, and I had to pee really bad. But every time I'd go to pee, they'd start Highway to Hell or Back in Black or one of the killer songs. So and then when they started a new song, I went to the bathroom, and so did everybody else in the arena. So the point is, you know, we have to be careful not to play too much new
Right.
material. So what we're doing is learning like 6 or 7 songs off the new record, and then we can just do 3 or 4 at the concerts, but switch them up each show.
I'm noticing a trend with bands who have had a lot of success in the past and are still doing it, where they're going out on the road and they're touring and they're playing a certain record in its entirety first,
Yeah.
and then playing other songs after that. I think that's a great concept for those fans who are so latched on to a certain record. They would have never, ever been able to see that unless they were there during that album cycle, you know?
It's true. And with the 20-year anniversary, you know, we talked amongst ourselves about going out and doing the whole first album in its entirety. But the problem is then this record came out, and so we're like, well, how do we, you know, we really love our new record, obviously, and again, we're musicians, so it's fresh, new stuff for us to play, so it didn't work out. So our idea is when we finish this cycle, probably by the fall of next year, we're going to stay out like we do and tour as long as we can, you know. Then we're going to perhaps take a month or 2 off and then go out. And by then, the Awake record will be on its 20-year anniversary.
Right.
So we're thinking instead of getting the whole first album or the whole Awake record, we'll just pick our favorite songs off the first 2 and do like a 20-year anniversary tour.
You've just created a whole new concept.
Yes.
Bands are going to be following your every move now. Well, Shannon, we really appreciate you stopping by. Looking forward to seeing you in Oklahoma City, and looking forward to seeing you tonight here at Rocklahoma.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.